I'm calling the regular meeting of South Lebanon City Council to order on June 6, 2024 at 6:00 p.m.
Allen, Carmack,
Present.
Combs,
Present.
Fetter, Harrison, Spicer.
Present.
If you'll all please stand for the prayer and the pledge. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you this day. We thank you for the men and women that stormed the beaches of Normandy this day 80 years ago. Many lives were lost that day. Bless their families and let us never forget. We pray for all of our service members, first responders, and their families. Bless our country and our community. Let us work together for the good of all of our citizens and country. In your name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Do we have any guests that would like to speak? Having no guests, now I will open the floor to the public to speak. You're perfect, no problem.
My name is Lisa Wilson, 572 West 22 and 3. Thank you for letting me speak tonight. I have two things to say that'll be real quick. The first is housekeeping. I don't know if a lot of you know, but Brenda Combs has stepped down as a board member at the Historical Society. So she's still going to be working with us. She's just going to lessen her day-to-day burden with the Historical Society. So I was elected to go on and take her place at the board. So I'll be the point person for the Historical Society. From now on, I'll make sure that Jerry has my contact information and that Mayor Burke has my contact information. The second is a completely different topic. I don't know if, I think probably most of you know, I admin the South Lebanon and Hamilton Township Facebook pages, and each of them has over 10,000 members. Anyone who saw the parade posts over last weekend can probably attest to or agree with me about the number one, it got completely off the hook. And number two, it was riddled with inaccuracies. So I spent way more time than was probably mentally healthy trying to correct those inaccuracies, and was fuming to my poor husband, who has to listen to me all the time, and said, this is just like the pothole situation. I drive all over South Lebanon. I'm at Marianne's house. I'm at Brenda's house. I'm at the cemeteries. I pick up Miss Bertha once a week and drive her. I'm at Chubby's at least once a week. I take kindnesses to people all over. I don't see these Beirut-like streets that are described in the Facebook posts. And I think that it's the same kind of inaccuracies that we had with the parade that are causing people to do that. I don't think South Lebanon streets are bad. So my suggestion, I'm sorry, I took this on the way over. Hamilton Township had the same kind of problem happening, and they got decals and put them on the street signs of every streets that Hamilton Township was responsible for. They're very inexpensive.
The no out, oh,
No, little Hamilton Township.
right, okay.
So what that does is it lets you know that that is a Hamilton Township street, not a state street, not a county street, not a HOA street that isn't dedicated yet. So, and when they put those up, the complaints about potholes and on the Facebook page for Hamilton Township dropped probably 75%, because people could be pointed to, they know who to go to. So my suggestion would be, it's a very inexpensive fix, and I think it would take some of the bad rap off of South Lebanon and the streets that they're getting, when I don't think they're South Lebanon streets.
Thank you. And I do appreciate you, because I saw the the post about the parade and everything and just made one comment, to try to. But it was just saying if you had a concern or a question to reach out to Union Township
Right.
because they're the ones in charge of it. But it didn't stop there.
No, and it doesn't, finally, the person that did it finally saw that, oh, okay, because it was the office, and office doesn't mean office, it means an office. Like I work in an office and I have a boss who works in an office, and that doesn't mean that I'm elected, because I'm not. And I think that people just go off to the races with those things. And then it just spirals and spirals and spirals. And before you know it, it becomes truth, and it's not.
Well, and we work collaboratively with Union Township on things, but they really run the show.
Right.
So, and I don't want, and I know that they do a great job. I think probably 9 out of 10 of those people that were complaining probably weren't even there.
Probably.
So, but I saw your post and I thought, well, I'm not going to say anything else.
Well,
It's
and
been said.
it doesn't do people any good to complain to the wrong people. If you have something to address, it needs to be addressed with the correct people, or you might as well not say it at all.
Right.
So that's it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lisa. And Jerry, we can look into those, can't we, and get them on some of our decals on our street signs?
Yeah, we'll look at the, whenever we get a new logo, maybe it'd be a good time to.
Oh, that would be a good time. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to new business. Oh, I'm sorry. Closing the floor to the public. Thank you, Tina. Moving on to new business. Emergency Resolution 2024-18, authorizing an agreement with Warren County Health District for the mobile health unit services. I hope you all read what was sent to you. This is a great thing. And so I'm going to ask for a motion. If you would like to discuss first, please. If you have anything to say about this. Okay, I would like a motion to suspend the 2 reading rule.
Brenda Combs, motion to suspend the 2 reading rule.
And a second, please.
Linda Allen, second.
Allen. Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Now I need a motion to adopt by title only.
I make a motion to adopt by title only, Linda Allen.
And a second.
Brenda Combs, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Motion carries. Thank you. Emergency Resolution 2024-19, awarding a contract to KT Holden Construction for Broadway storm water improvements. Is there any discussion?
I do have a couple questions. I was reading that. Now, is this the stormwater over here by the park that we've been having so much trouble with? Because we did address that once.
Yeah, this is actually at the corner of Section and Broadway at the, see where the barrels are? Yeah, there's been I've been dealing with this for, yeah.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, I need a motion to suspend the 2 reading rule.
Brenda
And a-
Combs, motion to suspend the 2 reading rule.
And a second.
Sharon Carmack, a second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Motion carries. I will need a motion to adopt by title only.
Sharon Carmack, motion to adopt by title only.
Linda Allen, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. A motion to authorize travel expenses for Mayor Burke to attend the Mayor's Association of Ohio Conference, June 12th and 13th, 2024. I will need-
Motion made.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Brenda Combs, motion made to approve.
Linda Allen, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Motion carries. Thank you. I hope to learn a lot. I need an approval, a motion to approve all the invoices.
I do have one question. On the invoices, I see on here, there's a 5-year paving plan through Choice One. When that's done, can the council be advised of what that looks like?
Oh, definitely, yeah, we'll get that. We'll have to have it approved before we move forward with it.
Motion to approve.
Brenda Combs, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
If there are no, I'm sorry, motion carries. Thank you. I'm just ready to move right on. If there are no corrections or additions to the minutes, I need a motion for approval of minutes for the regular meeting, May 16th, 2024.
Brenda Combs, motion to approve.
Sharon Carmack, second.
Allen,
That's one I wasn't at, right? I
Yeah, you were absent.
recuse.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. We don't have any old business tonight. So moving on. Just have a couple of things. I wanted to talk about today is the 80th anniversary of D-Day, codenamed Operation Overlord. There were over 156,000 that landed of our Allied forces on the beaches of Normandy today, 80 years ago. They stormed 50 miles of Normandy Beach. And at the time, it was the largest naval, air, and land operation in history. Over 4,000 Allied troops were killed by Nazis just trying to get ashore. And I'm sure that number was more. They were the Nazis defending the beach. This was proved to be a critical turning point of World War II. And let us take a moment of silence, please, to remember these heroes and never forget the greatest generation. So if you'll take a moment of silence with me. Thank you. Now, on to, I want to thank Union Township for the Memorial Day Parade and Bob and Fred Vonderhaar, I'm sorry, Chief Napier and Trustee Vonderhaar. It was a great day, and I want to thank our council for being at the wreath laying ceremony. We really did have a good day that day of honoring our heroes. I want to thank Jerry for setting it all up because I had quite a few things that we were doing that day. The sunflower field is going in. Thank you to Tony Ledford and his work on that. Jerry and I have been working on a lot of issues, and Jerry, Tina, and I, we met with Senator Steve Wilson. We've met with Representative Adam Matthews about sewer and wastewater issues. Thank you to all the staff for everything that you do. We had a retirement celebration for Deputy Black, which was great, and Jeff Boland's second retirement. And both will be missed. Our committees are working very hard, and we're all getting ready for the 4th of July celebration that's coming up. And don't forget that Father's Day will soon be here, not this weekend, but next. So that's my report. So we'll move on to the Director of Finance.
As you mentioned, 4th of July, do remember that that week council meeting got moved to Tuesday. I know we have one more meeting, but the next meeting will be that Tuesday, July 2nd will be our council meeting. Can't believe it, but it's that time of year to start the budget for 25. The tax budget is due to the county by July 15th, and that's really the kickoff of the budget season. The tax budget really sets the rates for what we expect to collect, and then from there we can work off that as far as what we expect to spend. So I'll probably be calling a finance committee meeting somewhere there towards the end of the month. To be honest, it's kind of snuck up on me, and so I've got to get that paperwork done before I can present it to you guys. And then I'll bring it to the July 2nd council meeting for approval. But I will be reaching out to our finance committee members. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Tina. Our great city administrator, Jerry.
Yeah, just a couple things to update everybody on. So the Hobart Street Sidewalk Project, the vinyl utility pole has been moved this week. So we should start seeing some movement on the construction. So it might be a little tight to get it done before 4th of July, but hopefully we'll see what we can get done. So we've had our pre-construction meeting for the Mason Mar Millgrove Phase 2 project. Still waiting for an actual schedule on when they plan on starting on that. So we're on our search for our Public Works Director. So hopefully sometime in July, we'll have hopefully some good candidates to choose from. So we'll see what will come with that. Yesterday, we filed the annexation for it's the Frank annexation, which includes the Spicer Park, County Park. So I think everybody's been served and notified. So we've also received the first set of plans for the first phase of the development at the Irwin Farm. So this will be at the south side of the development. It's called the Arbors at Grandin Pond. So Planning Commission will be seeing that in a couple of weeks. I think that's all I got for now.
Thank you, Jerry. He's working hard, I can tell you, him and Tina both, and Sally, and everybody else. Yes. Andrew, our law director.
Yeah, just a couple of things tonight for me. First, I sent out the street sweeping ordinance. I will let you all know that the schedule that's in that street sweeping agreement, when certain streets are designated, no parking signs are placed. I have talked with Sergeant Adams. They were out enforcing the no parking restrictions during the street sweeping this year, and they will continue to do that. It is a temporary thing. We can't permanently put up no parking signs. We have to do it consistent with the street sweeping schedule. Second, there's been a couple of inquiries from individuals about recreational marijuana business in South Lebanon. Right now, under current law that went into effect through a recent election, recreational marijuana is legal. It's not being sold yet in dispensaries across the state of Ohio, and several municipalities have taken certain actions related to restrictions or prohibitions on the sale of recreational marijuana in their municipalities. The mayor has asked me to present a couple of options to council about potential prohibitions or restrictions. There was one handout that was given to you all. I've done some research and contacted other municipalities. Several in at least the southwestern Ohio region have adopted a similar resolution to the one that I handed out that's from Springboro. That resolution imposes what's called a moratorium, basically a delay on making a specific decision related to bringing in businesses to sell recreational marijuana because of the state of flux that this law is subject to right now in the General Assembly up in Columbus. That's an option. It would be an option that would impose a particular period of time, that moratorium or delay, in not doing anything in the city of South Lebanon. That's one option. Another option, and I didn't get a chance to get copies of this, but I can have copies made and get it circulated to you all, is a zoning text amendment. An example of a zoning text amendment that I came across was from Clear Creek Township. Here in the city, the council can initiate zoning text amendments. And in Clear Creek Township, they have initiated and approved a zoning text amendment that essentially prohibits adult use cannabis operators, whether licensed or not, in all zoning classifications. Essentially, what that means is a strict prohibition of any dispensary that would sell recreational or even medicinal marijuana. So that is also an option. I'd ask council to consider those options. If you want to discuss it this evening, you can, or if you have specific questions for me, I can try to field those questions based upon what I have thus far. And then if I have a general consensus of what council's thinking, I can prepare the appropriate type of legislation that would be necessary depending upon what you all want to do based upon those options. The third option would be do nothing. And then if there's a particular business that comes in, they would have to go through the process of trying to get approval for that business and go through the steps that exist already. So 3 basic options. 1, just to summarize, the moratorium or delay in doing anything essentially. 2, initiating zoning text amendments to prohibit the sale of recreational and or medicinal marijuana in the city. Or 3, do nothing and leave it open for businesses to potentially come in for opening of dispensaries. So I'll allow council to consider it. Right, like I said, if you have questions right now, I can try to answer those. If not, or if there's some consensus, I can prepare variations of legislation and bring it to council either at the next meeting or the meeting at the beginning of July.
So I have a couple questions on this moratorium. It said, it looks like it started December the 7th of 23 for 300 days, which October is pretty much over. But legally, is there any, I guess I want to know, is this something that we're really legally can do? Can we just block things? Or is a moratorium more effective if you do it like 600 days and then what would you see?
In other municipalities, they've changed or included different moratorium periods. For example, there's been moratoriums in some municipalities of 365 days. It just depends upon what the municipality wants to do. Maybe they want to take time to think about it. Maybe they want to consider all options. Maybe they want to form a committee to think about it and discuss it. So you're not necessarily restricted to just 300 days. That's an open issue. It is legal under the current statutes that exist for a municipality to take this type of action. similar to what Clear Creek Township did with the strict prohibition on the zoning text amendment. That's totally permissible under the law, and any municipality can say yay or nay, so essentially to the sale of marijuana.
So the issue two that went through, could you explain to us what exactly is and is not allowed in that?
I don't, yes, in part. Essentially, what it permits is the possession and consumption and growing certain amounts of marijuana. An individual over the age of 21 can buy a certain amount of marijuana, possess that marijuana, and use it. Individuals can also legally grow, I think it's 6 plants. I think 6 is the number of plants, and I can confirm that, for their own personal use. They can't grow it and then sell it. That's not prohibited, or that's not allowed under the law. Those are the basic requirement, or the basic permission that's granted to individuals. It's a little bit more complex as to when it goes into I mean, technically it's legal now, but there's rules and regulations that have to be established through a certain regulatory agency similar to the Division of Liquor Control. And once all those rules and regulations are finalized, the estimate is sometime in September or early October, then current dispensaries that sell medicinal marijuana can sell recreational marijuana. If a dispensary wants to open and exclusively sell recreational marijuana, there's a very strict process that they have to go through at the state level to get a license to do that before they can even open any dispensary across the state. Those are the basics. If anybody wants more details, just reach out to me independently and I can send you some material.
So when I worked up at HR Block, when that dispensary in Lebanon first opened, and the parking and the traffic and the people lined up around the block twice. I mean, it was just absolutely to where we had to enforce them setting appointments because they were ripping the doors off trying to use people's bathrooms because they didn't want to get out of line. So it really did create a public nuisance for the buildings around them. And I'm telling you, it was wrapped around the block twice.
And that's just one reason why the mayor has asked me to bring this issue before council, so we can discuss it. You can raise those concerns that you have. And maybe you all want to speak with your constituents about their desires and figure out what you want to do and what action you want to take. Because obviously there are those types of concerns. There's other concerns that exist. Competing concern would be bringing in commercial business. So there's lots of different things to weigh, but there are options. And these options that I presented this evening are permissible. They are legal. And there's something that South Lebanon can do if council so chooses.
Can I say something as the mayor?
Yes.
I just want to
Certainly.
check first. I am not for bringing a marijuana dispensary here to South Lebanon, but that's not my choice. I am just concerned about the safety of our citizens and younger people. It's just, to me, it's opening up Pandora's box. I've said my piece, but it is up to council to make that decision. And of course, I will support you in any way I can. So you know where I stand. Anybody have anything else they want to say about that? Okay. So Sergeant Adams. And I have a question for you, Sergeant Adams. And it has to do with marijuana dispensaries.
I will follow whatever the law is created or whatever council decides is what we will enforce.
Okay, that, all righty, that you answered
Between the
that.
state law
Okay.
and.
Good
yeah.
answer.
Good answer. Okay, go ahead with the rest.
Just a couple of things. We started our traffic detail on the 25th of May. I think it's going really well. One of the examples I could give you as far as how helpful it is I just pulled preliminary numbers for May for the CFS, calls for service, and it was somewhere over 800 calls for the month of May. You divide that by 31, you're talking an average of 27 calls a day. Now, again, it doesn't come down to an average. You might have a day where it's a little quieter, another day where it's not. So it's been very helpful to have additional deputies to come in to help while primary focus on traffic, while the deputy that's assigned down here is handling calls for service. So from what I can tell so far, it's going pretty well. And they've been active. You may have seen a difference in the court here recently with a few of them, but the biggest thing.
Most certainly, it's been busier with people that have violated traffic laws. People seem to not understand that there are traffic laws that need to be followed. It's running stop signs. Oh, sorry. I didn't talk loud enough for those. People running stop signs, not stopping completely, just in general, violating traffic laws. Those laws exist for a reason. Like the mayor's mentioned this evening, safety is a significant concern of hers, and I think of everyone's in the cities. People need to follow those traffic laws, and that's why they exist. And we have noticed an uptick in that regard in Mayor's Court.
And tonight, Karen had passed out the Mayor's Court monthly report. So I don't know if you guys have any questions regarding that, but you will see in the month of May, the amount of revenue jumped up significantly compared to what we're used to. So it's good to see that there's money running through our courts now, and we can get back more on a positive revenue side of that. But yeah, I think it was for the month we took in over 5,000, and I think for the year so far we were only at 10 prior to that. So it's definitely making a difference revenue wise. Not that that's the whole purpose of it, but it's good to see that there's a financial side of it that's benefiting safety.
Consequences.
Yes.
Well, Sergeant Adams and I have talked about this, and it's not about writing tickets and just, going after people. It's about trying to change the behaviors that cause problems. And the last thing any of us want to see is a child hit by a car, a traffic accident that someone's killed in. It is about safety, period.
Absolutely. Yeah, we when it comes to my deputies there, or any of the deputies that come down and work the detail, it is all on them whether they'll take the appropriate action, whether they think a warning, a citation. I mean, that's their decision. There is no mandates, obviously, nothing like that. Again, it's change of behavior. If we can get people to stop for stop signs and not speed through town, then you'll see less and less traffic stops. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. Let's just try to be safer. You guys have all heard, I came down here in 01 as a deputy, not as a supervisor, and the traffic between 01 and now is grown exponentially. The travel that people go in between through, when I was down here, 48 was farm fields initially. So there's just so much more traffic. It's not always citizens. It's, it could be people visiting or shopping or, and unfortunately, along with traffic and breaking laws comes road rage, people get into violent encounters. We had actually one last night. They drove to our post. Somebody was chasing them, and it started over a road rage traffic infraction incident and continued to the point where people thought, we're not sure 100% because they left. Each party believed they had guns and everything else. So it could have, if they did, it could have turned in deadly. So it's just trying to get things under control. And like I said, change behavior is the biggest thing. I hope it looks like it, hopefully it's working. But we're gonna give it a good shot and see what happens. So we took care of that. That started. I don't have any numbers yet because we're in the first month of it. I'm halfway through. So I'll have more numbers about how many stops were made, things along those lines. I've already started scheduling for the next month. We started scheduling for the July 4th celebration. Currently, I think it was recommended we decided we were gonna have 3 deputies. Is it 2 now? Okay,
It's 2 now.
okay. All right. So we're gonna start with 2. We definitely need more than what we had was 1. So we'll go from there. That's all taken care of. Was there anything else that I'm missing? We talked about.
About blocking off Hobart Street
Okay.
because
Yeah.
of,
So, yeah.
this was explained to me by Chief Napier, because of where they set up to do the fireworks, they have to have at least 600 feet. And people have been parking on Hobart during that event, and that can cause a problem.
So the chief and I had a meeting this week and we're working through things. From my understanding, as of right now, and I'll have hopefully more at the next meeting, the parking in the ball field, you know, how people used to park towards the river, that's a problem. The deputy last year had to go find people and get them moved because setting off the fireworks, they needed certain cars. So I think we're going to try to just block that off. And then Hobart's going to be blocked off from the different parking areas. So you can't get to High Street, and then High Street will be blocked off where you can't get to the ball field. So that way there's plenty of room. They can set off the fireworks in a safe manner, things along those lines. So once we get everything, again, it's a work in progress right now. Once we get everything finalized, I'll have a better, I'll be able to share it with Jerry and he can send it out.
Turn your mic.
I noticed last year that a lot of the people that were doing on the river, they were doing their kayaking,
Mhm.
and they were doing that, and that's where most of those cars came from. So can we get that maybe blocked early, like that
Yeah.
morning?
Yeah, last year, I think the rule that we're talking to the chief was anything around noon or 2 or so, they should be gone. But yes, I feel like it should be blocked off for the day. Yeah, I think 8 in the morning, whenever we can get a barricade up there and close it off, I think that'd be appropriate.
I think
Maybe
no
some
parking.
advance, maybe
yeah.
advance notice on the, like a day or 2 in advance of the,
Yeah.
no parking along the river on certain this time.
I don't know if you want to put signs up at the park, you know, a couple days before.
I think so. I think.
Yeah.
we should probably-
The marquee might be good, the water bill. Yeah, I don't know when the water bill comes out, but if it's the right amount, appropriate time. We did have touched on it, the street sweeping. There were a lot of cars that were parked there and the signs had been up. As long as the sign's up on that side of the street, that means no parking. It says no parking. You can't park there until they've been moved. I know a lot of times it'll get moved from one side once they're done to the next side or the other side. And then that's enforceable. But I know I had some people ask questions like, well, it's been here for a day or 2. It's notice, you know, we're trying to get notice. Well, since it's been here a day or 2, can I park there? Not until the signs have been removed. So as long as those signs are posted, visible, you can't park on that side. I find it hard that this, you know, the city's spending money to have a company come in and do this and they can't clean it because there's so many cars blocking it. And so the streets still stay dirty. So does anybody have any questions for me or concerns? Thank you
I'd
very
just
much.
like to say thank you for everything that you do to keep us safe. And Corey and I try to meet every couple weeks or whenever we need to talk about things. But we have a great staff down here and we really appreciate everything everybody does.
It's those deputies down here and the one to the detail that are getting the work done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we go to the council members, I just want to remind you about the Warren County Municipal League dinner, June the 19th. And if you would like to go, please let me know because I have to turn the reservations in June the 15th. And I already have myself and my husband, Brenda and Hubert, and maybe Marianne, a maybe for Marianne. If there's anybody else that would like to attend, just let me know. The city does pay for your dinner, but not your spouse's. So just let me know, okay? Now we'll move on to council members. Council member Spicer.
Nothing to report this evening.
Oh, yes, you do. What- Talk about our flag and our seal that we're working on. Because I have to tell all you before he starts, he's an incredible artist. And I want him to get credit. I mean, he just sat down in the meeting and started drawing this thing. And I'm like, I can't even draw stick people. So,
Well, we had our first seal committee meeting and it was pretty productive. I had a lot of good ideas coming back and forth and hopefully maybe by the end of the month, early next month, I'll have a better example together and we can have another meeting and maybe move forward, have something to go off of.
and he also had a very, very nice prototype of the flag that Sharon Carmack helped him with as well. So I'm going to move on to council member Carmack now. Lisa Federer's husband surprised her with a trip. He entered her into a horse contest that she didn't know about. And so that's where she's at tonight competing.
I have nothing to report.
Okay, Councilmember Harrison.
I just want to say thank you, of course. And Lisa, thank you for bringing that up. That's been bothering me too with this, with the roads and the potholes. And like you said, that it's not the city. So I think that's a great idea what you brought. Yeah. So we appreciate that. And buffing the Facebook when you have someone that goes in there and has it all out of context, what's going on. And maybe we can do some research on all the stuff that's coming up. Safety is number one for our community, the main concern. And I think that's it. But we had a great parade together, all of us. We really got to, enjoy the community and each other. So thank you.
And thanks Sharon Carmack and her family for putting together the float and everything. And it truly was a very good day. Okay, Councilmember Allen, we're glad to see you back.
I'm glad to be back. I have nothing to report though.
Okay. Councilmember Combs.
On July 4th, we've got all the music set, all the vendors set, so we're pretty much ready. So, and also I'd like to thank our Sheriff's Department and Union Township for all the stuff that they do for us. And thank all of our city workers. I see them all out working and working very hard. And I really appreciate them. They make us all of us up here look good. Thank you.
Does anybody have anything else that they would like to say for the good of the order? Hearing none, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Linda Allen.
All those in favor? Motion adjourned, or council meeting adjourned.